Good morning. So I'm going to do a tutorial this morning on how I apply my eye makeup from beginning to end. First, I do have on my Glorious primer, and then I have on my Touch pressed powder on my entire face on top of my BB cream in Honey. So from there, I am going to try to accomplish this look again for you. Normally I do both eyes kind of at the same time, that way I can get them a little bit more even, but we're going to try this out. So today I'm going to be using Regal as my purple. And all I do is I tap a little bit of the Regal powder into the lid that comes on. You can see it in there on the jar. I use my Deluxe brush. That is my favorite one. I use it for my entire eye. I don't use a crease brush normally. I just like the look I can get with this. So what I do is I just get a little bit here on the brush. You can see it on there. And I go right here in the corner of my eye. Getting it in there. Sometimes it looks really messy, and believe it or not, eventually it will look pretty dang cool. Regal is my favorite color. Sometimes I can't get it necessarily the thickness I want in some areas, so I'll take and I'll just press a little bit more on there, and it gives me exactly what I need. So then I just clean my brush off like over on my little hand towel. And then the next color I'm going to be using is Heartbroken. It is another one of my favorite ones. It's in the tip in the cap. Once again, I take and I get some on my brush, and then I go on the outside corner of my eye. Get enough on there to give me the color, and then I go straight up until the brow. I usually go about halfway across the lid with it, because then when I come in with my lighter color, my highlighting color, it'll give it a nice blend. So there we go. I know, looking kind of scary, but I promise it'll look amazing here in a minute. Now for my highlighting color today, I'm going to be using Innocent. It is a matte, whereas my other two colors are out of the shimmer collection. Once in a while I like to mix my mattes though and my shimmers. Just gives it a nice different look. So now I'm going to go right above where the Regal is and fill it in there, kind of blend the Regal and the, did I say this was Innocent? Yeah. Innocent, as I dump everything all over my sink. And then I go right across Heartbroken, right across the top of it, just to kind of lighten it up and get rid of any of the defined lines that may have occurred while applying. So there you go, they look pretty even to me. Clean that brush off. So that's it for my actual eye pigments using to make my eyeshadows. The next step I'm going to do is my eyebrow. As you can see, no eyebrow. For my eyebrows, I like to use our wonderful handy dandy liner brush. It's a liner, sometimes I call it the wedge brush because it's kind of what it looks like. And then on the other end, it's got a thicker end for the shader. But I just use the liner to do my eyebrows. And for my eyebrows, I use Infatuated. So I have my little lid of Infatuated. I take the liner's end and I just dip it in my Infatuated pigment. Just enough, I don't know if you'll even be able to see it on there at all. Just enough to make some color on the tip there, and then I'm just going to brush across my eyebrow in the form that is already kind of there for me with the actual eyebrow. I do like to take my eyebrows a little bit darker just because my hair is darker and I don't want to look like I have no eyebrows still. Using the liner brush just gives me a really clean line. See that? Pretty amazing. And I've just found that Infatuated is like the perfect color. It's the darker matte brown that we have in our pigments. So there we go. There's my eyebrows. Hopefully they've matched pretty close. I got to go out to the bank here in a little bit. Now for my eyeliner, as you can see on there, I have a black eyeliner on. I like to use my pigments as my liner also. So I use Devious, which is our shimmer black. Once again, I put a little bit in my cap. I'm going to use the same liner brush, my wedge brush. And what I do is I just turn my tap water on, just enough to start getting a little bit of water down in the bottom of the sink. And I press my brush, I don't know if you can see the water on it, down in there. I wipe it off so that it's not a puddle of water. And then I dip my brush wet right into the Devious. And then I'm going to go ahead and just, I always start on the outside corner because that's where I want it a little bit thicker. And then I just take and I work my way across my eye with the Devious. Voila, look at that liner. Amazing. And then to do the bottom, I do get it wet again. Dry it off. Put it into the Devious. And then I go across the bottom part of my lid right underneath my lower lashes. Sometimes I go all the way across, sometimes I don't. Today is an all the way across kind of day. Once in a while I do have a little bit of the pigment that lands down on my face and I'll just brush it off later. Sometimes I gotta touch up just a little bit with my touch press powder. So to clean my brush out, since I did get it wet and I don't want the black to be there, I just get my brush wet again and dry it off, and then I will put it back into the little plastic sleeve that it came in. So that's pretty much how I do my pigments, and then I do this step by step as I always do with the 3D fiber lashes, which I do have right here on hand, as always. So hopefully that helps you out with how you can apply the pigments. You can use them as a cream eyeshadow also if you just dip your brush into a little bit of water or whatever. So if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Have a great day.